Good morning friends, welcome to this session. So as I promised you in my 40 seconds video, my presentation starts with a question. So this is the question in front of you. Do you remember what happened on July 22nd, 2020? Any guesses? Come on guys, come on. It's early morning. I'm sure that all of you must be reading the newspapers every day. And that must be the main activity for the day, which keeps you ignited throughout the day. So try to recollect. I'm sure you must be referring to your mobile phones, the e-copies of the newspapers or the hard copies, the traditional way. Come on. No? Any other guesses? Any other guesses? Do you remember what happened not in your life? Something related to IITD.
Something related to IITD?
Yes. I will give you a clue. Okay, I will give you a clue. Didn't you get introduced to this person on 22nd July 2020?
Oh, okay. 10 minutes.
It was a 10 minutes presentation. And who did it? It was me. So now do you remember the topic? The next question.
Motivation.
Sorry. Come on guys. If you have forgotten my 10-minute speech, how are you going to remember the entire IITD course then?
Efficacy, self-efficacy.
Yes, absolutely right. It was self-efficacy. And what does it talk about? A strong positive belief about your capacity and skills to achieve the goals. Isn't it, my friends? Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. So you must be wondering, is it self-efficacy or self-motivation is the topic for the day? Well, my topic is self-motivation. Do you know these people?
Yes.
Okay, so to start with, left hand side top corner, who is it? Great. Right. On the right side? Okay. And do you know who these people are at the bottom corners? Anyways, I'll reveal the answer once I am through with the session. So don't worry. Stay tuned with me. So here we go. Self-motivation. What is it? It's the internal motive, a desire to achieve. It arouses us from within. It directs and drives behavior for all of us. Isn't it? Now, there are two types of motivation. One is intrinsic motivation and the other one is extrinsic motivation. What is intrinsic motivation? It is associated with the activities that give you a reward. It's the internal activities which give you a reward, which gives you an happiness. The examples are any types of sports, any type of new language learning, and maybe it a heart to mind connect. And I'm sure in your life, some or the other day, you must have experienced all these three things. Isn't it? Now, we come to extrinsic motivation. So, extrinsic motivation, it talks about, it is created by the external factors. When we say external factors, we mean to say any kind of activity or a job or a task that is supposed to be done and it has a reward or a punishment attached to it. So that is the external factors around it. Does anyone know what is locus of control? Okay. So keep that answer with you. Was it Ketki? Oh, Jayashri. ठीक है. So great, Jayashri. So maybe the other participants are not aware or may not be aware. So give me an opportunity to present a video to all of you. What is locus of control? And guys, I'm sure that you must have kept your pen and a paper in front of you. 40 seconds video, 40 seconds video, sorry. That my presentation will be full of questions. So whosoever gives the maximum right answers receives an award from me. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So let me share a video with you.
A study was conducted in 1998 at Columbia University by a Professor Claudia M. Mueller. She took a large group of fifth graders and had them work on numerous puzzles by themselves. Now, these were very challenging puzzles, but regardless of how well each child did, he or she was told that they scored very well, that they did better than most of the other kids. Afterwards, half of these students were told that they scored high because they worked hard, while the other half were told that it was all because they were smart and gifted. Then they presented each student with 3 more types of puzzles to work on: easy ones, medium difficulty ones, and extremely challenging ones. And what they found was very interesting. The students who were told that they did well because they were smart spent the majority of their time on the easy puzzles. They spent almost no time on the extremely challenging puzzles and spent much less time overall trying to solve any of the puzzles, which was a sign of lower levels of motivation. And to top it all off, when asked whether or not they enjoyed the experiment, they said that it wasn't that fun for them. On the other hand, the students who were told that they did well because they worked hard spent the majority of their time focused on the harder puzzles. They also spent a lot more time overall attempting to solve any of the puzzles, which was a sign of an increase in levels of motivation. And to top it all off, after the experiment, they said that they actually enjoyed the entire experience. So what can we learn from this study? Well, there's a concept called the locus of control, which is essentially the degree to which you believe you have control over your life. The kids who were told that they did well because they were smart and gifted were led to believe in what's called an external locus of control. They were led to believe that factors outside of what they could control were the reason they did well, right? You can't control whether or not you're born smart. On the other hand, the kids who were told they did well because they worked hard started to believe in what's called an internal locus of control. They believed that it was factors they controlled that led to their outcomes. It was their hard work and their extra effort that allowed them to do well on the puzzles, right? Because how much work you put into something is something that you have complete control over. Now, studies on the locus of control like this one have found time and time again that having an internal locus of control is the key to staying motivated. You must feel like you have control over your life and that you are responsible for the things that happen to you if you want to feel motivated all of the time. I saw this happen with my own eyes back in the day when I was in charge of a sales team. This wasn't retail sales or car sales. This was old school door-to-door sales, which has one of the highest turnover rates. Most people only last a week before quitting. See, you need to be an extremely motivated individual to be able to face hundreds and hundreds of rejections every single day before someone even considers buying something from you. Now, over time, I was able to develop a keen eye for who would actually last, who I should spend more time and energy training. All I had to do was ask a simple question when a new salesperson on my team was confronted with their first bad day, a day in which they made no sales. I would ask them, "Why do you think you made no sales today?" And I would see how they would respond. If they blamed things like the weather, the fact that it's a weekend and nobody wants to be bothered on the weekends, or because it was the neighborhood, I would instantly know that they wouldn't last because they had an external locus of control. They believed that the reason they couldn't make any sales was because of factors outside of their control. And because of this, they spent less time knocking on doors, which was ultimately the real reason why they weren't making any sales. That's the curse of having an external locus of control. When you feel like nothing you do matters, you stop working. You stop trying. Because what's the point of trying when the world's conspiring against you, right? So how do we adopt an internal locus of control so that we can start feeling motivated all of the time? Well, they found that the best way to do so is by simply solving problems in your own life and then taking some time and appreciating the fact that it was your actions that solved this problem. I'll give you an example just to make things more clear. Let's say you're someone who struggles with falling asleep. So you go do some research and you find out if you get some more sunlight in the morning, if you only use your bed for sleeping, and if you install a blue light filter on your phone, that should drastically increase your ability to sleep faster when bedtime comes around. You do all of those things and lo and behold, you find yourself sleeping 15 minutes faster than before. When you notice this improvement, you need to say to yourself, wow, it was because of the changes I made, because of the effort I put in that I am now able to sleep better. It's that simple. Build up that belief that you are in control of your destiny, that you have an internal locus of control, and you will never have issues with motivation in your life again.
So did you watch the video? Hello? Okay. So let's stay for some time on this video, and as I mentioned about, I am sure that you have grabbed lot of inputs from the video. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let me begin with few questions just to understand whether you have understood the entire concept. Are you ready, guys?
Yeah.
Can I do so? Okay, thank you. So the first question, what was the name of the professor in the video? Yeah, someone answered it. Who is it?
Prashant.
Oh, Prashant, good one. So it was M. Mueller. What was the name of the university? Come on, guys. Okay, I will answer. It was Columbia University. When was the research done? The year had appeared in the video. And I had purposely kept the subtitles for all of you to ease out the activity. No guesses? So here the point, so I will summarize the video for you. Here the point was the research took place in 1998, and it was the group of students of standard 3rd, grade 3. Okay, this research was presented in 1998, done in 1998 by Columbia University, and they did a very simple task. To the two groups, they gave 3 types of puzzles. Okay, do you know which were the puzzles? There were 3 categories of puzzles if you have seen. Okay, so it was easy, medium, difficult, and the hardest ones. Okay, so the 3 categories of puzzles. Both the groups, there were some kids who were smart enough, and there were other kids who were hardworking. So the smart kids, what did they do? They immediately solved the easy puzzles, and they did not pay attention to the hard ones. When the professor asked them, how did you feel this activity? They replied, it was boring. Okay, so they blamed the activity. They couldn't enjoy it. Whereas the students who were hardworking, they did this activity and they tried to solve the hard puzzles as well. Not only the easiest ones, but the hard ones also. So here, the outcome is the students who were hardworking, they were not blaming the environment or the activity at all. They were having that belief within them, and they did the puzzles, they solved the puzzles, the hard puzzles. Whereas the other guys, whether the other students, they blamed the activity because they did not want to pay attention to the hard puzzles. Coming to the second activity in the video, so you have seen a guy, he is a boss, he has been recruiting the sales guys, and he has been taking care of the sales event. But then later on, when there was no sales, when he checked with few people in order to understand whether the training is required for which kind of resources, he started questioning his recruited sales people. The people who did not do sales, they gave the reason, they blamed the surroundings. But the people who were actually willing to give themselves as a blame, they took a blame on themselves and they were willing to learn and get trained. So those were the guys on whom the management could actually rely, because they had the quest of learning and undergoing the training as compared to other guys. So when the locus of control is intrinsic, you are self-motivated. You yourself get boosted up. You perform your activities very well. Am I making sense, friends?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you getting it?
Yes, yes.
So now, let's come to this screen. What are the 7 powerful tools for you to get self-motivated? So we will start right from get out of your comfort zone. Friends, isn't it very important to come out of your comfort zone when you want to do different things or do things differently? So, coming out of your comfort zone will actually boost your internal motivation. It will boost your self-motivation. Educate yourself and believe you can do it. Educate. When we say educate yourself, read many things. Read articles, watch videos, watch inspiring videos, hear the speakers. It will educate, it will give you a lot of inputs. And believe you can do it. That is where I keep on repeating, self-efficacy plays a major role. It's just your positive belief that is going to drive you. Simplify the task and set measurable goals for yourself. What do you mean by this? You have a laundry list for a day. You can't have each and every activity to be scheduled on one day each. You won't have that much time in your hand. So try to take up simple to-do activities and knock them off from your to-do list at the beginning of the day. Set the goals. When we have a particular goal in our mind, you have to keep it measurable. You have to understand how you can do it, how you can achieve that particular goal. What are the internal steps, the phases, the deadlines that you have to set so to achieve the final goal for yourself. So the goals should be measurable. Never give up when you are frustrated. How many times, tell me friends, it has happened during this 40 minutes presentation session that you were supposed to prepare from last 1 month and you were not able to start? Didn't you get frustrated? Maybe at one point of time you must have thought about, okay, let me give any reason and maybe I'll not be able to perform. I am not good at presentation skills. I will give it up. I will just come and do a talk. Then these kind of thoughts came in minds of some of you guys. So never give up. Keep pushing yourself and you will achieve it. When you take a particular task, finish it what you have started. When we say about taking a task, we are going to measure it and we are absolutely going to finish it off. Let's not finish it halfway. Give your time, give your full energy and finish what you have started. Celebrate your success. One example I'll give it to you. Most of us join the gyms. Most of us make the resolutions. When we join a gym, it's 1 month that we are full energized. But later on, there are 80%, the research reveals 80% of the applicants drop out from the gyms. It is because they give up. Some of the people continue to do so with a focus, with the goal in their mind. And after, let's say, 2 months, with their continuous boost to themselves and doing the gymming activity regularly, they find that they have lost their weight. to an extent. So that is where they should celebrate. That will give them additional motivation. So always celebrate your success. Even if it's halfway, no worries. You have to learn to celebrate your success. Get to give and express gratitude. Friends, it is very important. Gratitude is something which we should always care about. We should be always conscious about. And when we say that, most of the times we are in a habit of getting something or the other. We always expect from the people around us, whatever relationship we share with them. But when it's our turn to give back, we suddenly come on a back seat. We wonder, why should I do that? Has this not come in your mind? Some or the other point in your journey till date, you must have come through these kind of scenarios, wherein it is always a kind of a getting attitude rather than giving. So the point I am making here is give, start giving. The more you give, the more you will get. And express gratitude. Thanks God for whatever you have. And He is the one who has been boosting you, motivating you every day in and out. Isn't it, friends? Do you all agree? So let me move to the next slide. Can someone read this slide, please? Kadambari ji. So at first, people will ask you why you are doing it. Later, they will ask you, how did you do it? So what does that mean? Here, let me give you one example about my life. When I was working, at that point of time, I had my close buddies in my office. Whenever I took a new initiative, there was one of my friends, my closest friends, who used to ask me, why are you doing this? And that the answer to his question was very simple. I like it, I love it, I want to do it. I do not know what the result may be. I am not getting anything extra for that, but something really drives me. And that is why I take the initiative and I do it. Adding to an example about this incident, when I participated in Quality Forum of India, once I brought a gold trophy and a silver trophy consecutively for my company for 2 consecutive years. The question started coming up from the same friend. He realized that whatever I said about taking the initiative, I was able to crack it. And he appreciated that fact. And next time he wanted to participate along with me. So that is why at first people will ask you why you are doing it. Later they will ask you how you did it. So guys, from my side, that's all what I had to say, and I am very happy to introduce you to my introductory seminar on next Thursday, October 8, 4:30 to 5:30 at People Tree Foundation office, Andheri West. It's a free seminar for 1 hour, and to book your seat, you can call on my personal number 95940 So guys, act today for better tomorrow.